Hi, this is Rondell for the Crop Circle University again. I hope you've seen the first episode of Stamps to Samsara. If not, I recommend you to do so, otherwise things could get a little confusing. In the first episode, I elaborated about crop circles relating to illusions and karma. In the episode you are now going to see, it'll be about crop circles reflecting the difficulties of our modern times. I won't elaborate too much on each crop formation, but leave you mainly with suggestions connected to them. I kick off with a formation that I consider expressing the system. It emphasizes two possible viewpoints in the approach of this theme. One is the distinct viewpoint, the other the viewpoint of being inside the system. The formation shows a remarkable similarity with a Rubik's Cube. If I had a cat like this, I would name him Rubik. I find there's an interesting parallel between the rising of the crop circle phenomenon on one hand and the development of our computer era on the other. I assume a lot of people still like to perceive the system as a more or less organic or coincidental manifestation, but nevertheless, dominating powers are at work. Through the hierarchy of power-obsessed elites, the world has become a very dark and dangerous place to be. Technological progress has opened up the possibilities of quantum computing. It'll soon drive us into a technological singularity. That's a scenario in which things happen so quick and the world becomes so strange that the human mind is no longer able to understand its environment anymore. Artificial intelligence is taking over while we can observe the influence of technocrats is far from ideal. Practices as indoctrination and brainwashing should not be underestimated. The system uses different methods to brainwash people. I think we should become very alert on ourselves. We can never be sure if we are not affected by these methods. Just one example is the game industry. We may wonder how much computer games affects the minds of the game players. Another modern cultural phenomenon is the environmental pollution. British Petroleum, for example, would advertise to be green, while in fact being the opposite. Maybe you remember the disaster in the Mexican Gulf with the exploding Deepwater Horizon oil platform. Crop circles predicted the disaster years before it taking place. Nuclear meltdowns. Although pictures like this could represent other ideas as well, I thought it to be applicable for the theme of nuclear meltdowns. Fukushima had 3 of them at once. Vaccinations. Pharma religion seemed to have taken over the world, and it should be of no dispute that it thrives on brainwashing and fear-mongering of the populations. Vaccinating the world populations with experimental substances and making mega profits on that is a horrible crime. It should be understood, there's nothing healthy about that. The model for mega profits and other purposes wouldn't work, of course, if there wasn't something as the cover-up virus. Crop Circle Intelligence foresaw the significance of this virus in 2016. I coined the crop formation the ideal virus for more than one reason. I'm convinced the formation speaks about immunity as the spikes are disconnected and thus neutralized. Contagion is of course more of the same theme. As it appeared in May 2020 at the first COVID wave and it looks like spit, there's enough reason to accept it informs about immunity. One can detect the important difference between big and small droplets. Studies have made it clear that aerosols play a key role for the contagion with the COVID virus. Also, the magnification of a spike protein seems essential. The underpants is about ridicule. It's a symbol for this theme on the subconscious level. Besides indoctrination and brainwash, ridicule has become another widely used method for manipulating the people into complying with certain agendas. The wrench, a formation reflecting on the methods of wrenching the money out of people's pockets. It's about tax and/or escaping tax, about theft and whitewashing. Financial collapse. The financial world is here to be seen as a vortex of contradicting values. This is about the complications of greed and how they can lead to a worldwide crisis. This formation suggests an extraterrestrial intervention. The Dreamcatcher. The Dreamcatcher refers to migration politics, African migrants in particular. This one is about privacy loss through secret data collecting and trading. We see an eye peeping through a keyhole. I had to contemplate for a long hard time to discover what all these funny dots were about. At the moment it dawned to me they could represent data points. A king-size data point appeared at the same time at the sanctuary. So, data points and also profiles leave us no doubt about the methods of spying. Encryption should be the key to internet safety. Unfortunately, it seems not really common good for mainstream internet users. With the spread of the telecommunication network, electrostress has become another influence that should alarm us all. The electromagnetic environment becomes heavily polluted as well, while no radiation-free zones seem left for those who never ask for or can't handle the constant bombarding of natural frequencies. Formations with similar characteristics relate to the telecommunication branch and the political decisions that are made in response to its development. In extent, social sorting is a phenomenon that concerns all the people in the world, most certainly the users of Facebook, as this formation refers directly to Mark Zuckerberg. Why? The formation is, as any crop circle is, of course a mark. This one happened to be placed on Sugar Hill, which is a translation for the German word Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg speaks of digital mapping of people's real-world connections. Well, how convenient, but is it? This time not a crop circle but an intriguing snow formation. It depicts a huge fingerprint and directs the attention to a prize-winning script of Peter van Schijndel about identity theft. Through technology and fear we managed to install something horrible as the thought police. Imagine a 24-hour control system dictating you what to think and what not. The corona crisis showed us how easy it turned out to implement. As the permanent surveillance system is now fully operating, we are still allowed to have some freedom or privacy within margins. It seems only for the purpose of maintaining us in the illusion. The question is for how long, and also, what more is the ruling class up to? As they seem to can't get enough, it should be of no surprise they are on the verge of the genetic engineering of you and me. Or how would you like it to become a bio-robot? I hope you understand there are a lot of much happier crop circles too. It was just to expose the real mess we humans have worked ourselves in. Only by being confronted with our collective karmic load we can hope to release ourselves from the catastrophe. And so it brings us straight back to what we hopefully learned at the first episode, which was about illusions, karma and real freedom. In the next episode of Stamps to Samsara, I will present you stamps that connect to much nicer themes, such as the soul, the heart, evolution, dreams, chakras, forgiving, healing and the like. I really hope you're not blown away. Please like and subscribe. Bless you. Bye.